updated yet. There we go. There's mine.
All right, I'm gonna go all blue.
And I'm going all white. So it should be pretty easy distinction. So obviously, I'm assuming with your Chicago gamer tag that you repping the Bears, right?
Yeah, I'm a Bears fan. Past couple of years, unfortunately, but I still gotta stay true to my team. I don't know. I have mixed emotions about them sometimes. Sometimes we have the talent, it just doesn't always kind of click. And other times we don't have the talent, and for some reason we do better. You know, like we're all over the place.
Yeah, since he was like that when I first started being a Bengals fan. I mean, I'm from Ohio, so when I first started watching football, we sucked. And then we've been great for years, and then last year we kind of laid a goose egg. So, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure A.J. Green went down for a little bit last year, right? Like he
did for a little bit, and Tyler Eifert did too, you know, as a Pro Bowl tight end. Kind of hurts to miss that too.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it was a little bit of confusing of a first round, but I think that John Ross is going to help kind of make a bigger dynamic for your team. So I think it might
I didn't hate that pick either. I think we could have went defense. You know, our secondary kind of got depleted a little bit. I'm just reordering my depth chart.
Nah, you're good, man. Take your time. Oh, God. Yeah, so if Cam Newton goes down, I am losing this game. Because it does not get any better after Cam.
Well, at least I got a solid backup with A.J. McCarron, but I'd prefer not to have to use McCarron.
Yeah, that's fair. I can understand that.
But yeah, I was hoping they'd go defense early. We lost a lot of people in the secondary last year. We lost some offensive line. So I definitely didn't expect a wide receiver to be our first round pick.
Yeah.
But I'm not too angry with it, so.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. When I saw the pick, at first I was like, I don't know. He just didn't seem like a top tenner, you know? But when the pick happened, it made sense only because, like, that's going to take so much pressure off of AJ. You know what I mean? So it kind of opens up the deep, you know, because, like, if he goes deep.
We have good.
He goes
we have some good pieces, but we don't have somebody that takes the top off of an offense. And good sack. But I feel like that's a big difference there, is he kind of takes the top off of an offense.
Yeah, and I mean, it's going to be. I mean, that guy's a burner. Did he not break the record too? Doesn't he have the fastest?
Yeah, he did. He broke CJ2K's 40-yard record.
That's insanity, bro. Yeah, I mean,
anything exciting for the Bears this season so far? You like any of your pickups? I see everybody talking about that quarterback you guys drafted.
Yeah, so I remember draft day. So I had a bunch of KSI people that were in my party that night, and we all were watching the draft together, just having fun, talking about football. And the number one pick happened, Myles Garrett. Everybody's like, oh, duh. And then we traded up just from 3 to 2 to draft Mitchell Trubisky, a guy who's played 1 year. He played 1 year in college. Before that, he hadn't really played. So he had 1 season of. Oh, I was like, that was a catch? Jesus. So I was confused. I was like, okay. So they played a little bit of his highlights. He looked good. He looked like he was kind of mobile. But, I mean, over these last 2 preseason games, I think he has 2 interceptions, 0. He has 2. Sorry, 2 touchdowns, not interceptions. 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He's thrown a touchdown each game. And the first game he came out on fire. I think he went 10 for 10 with a touchdown. And then he led the team down the field the next drive, and they scored a field goal. You know, all in his first game. Like, that was huge. So, I think that's something to look forward to. Other than that,
I think you guys almost have to look forward to anybody at the QB position when you've had Cutler for years.
Well, I can't argue with you there.
Good one.
I know that when I like when we were just coming into the offseason, we had so many different spaces that we needed talent that it was hard to just assess one in the offseason. So it was like, free agency, whatever it may be, the draft. There's so many basically holes in our team that it was just like, okay, like what do we do? Because we needed a quarterback. We needed a receiver because Alshon left us. Tears going down my eyes as that happened. And he went to Philly. And, now we're sitting with, Kevin White, who hasn't really had an opportunity to show what he can do because he's been injured. And I don't know. We had so many pieces that I wish we would have went defense. Got somebody for the trenches. But I don't know. I was excited. I was a little hesitant for a quarterback, but he's been playing really well, so I can't complain.
Yeah, and I mean, guys like Kevin White, we had our first round pick from last year got injured too. We had a cornerback we drafted we haven't got to see, but at least Kevin White previously has been a speed guy, so that might be a nice little addition there.
Yeah,
He's healthy this year.
Kevin, and here's the problem with Kevin White though. Kevin White was drafted 2 years ago, and he got injured the first year, and then he got injured the second year. So he's coming into his third season, played in maybe 1 or 2 games in his career so far. So I'm really hoping that, I don't know, he's looking really good so far in the preseason regarding health-wise. So I think that that's going to help. But yeah, he's definitely a speed guy. If he can stay healthy, that's going to kind of be our that's going to be the safety blanket, if that makes sense. Every receiver or every quarterback has to have one.
Yeah.
That's why.
I think our offensive line is going to be a little suspect this year. And as far as blanket, you can't get much better than AJ Green, but we lost our starting left tackle we've had for the past 10 years as well this past season. So Andrew Whitworth, I believe, went to St. Louis.
Oh, St. Louis? Okay. Yeah, and Whitworth was always strong, too.
Yeah, I mean, another Pro Bowler. So, you hate to lose Pro Bowlers.
I know that ironically enough, I always go in and the first thing I'll do is look at rosters. So I'll look at overalls every time I get a Madden. And Andrew Whitworth was always at the top in the offensive line section. So that's when you knew, holy cow.
Yeah. And there's Tyler Eifert. See what I'm talking about? Old dude that's injured, but it's a great tight end usually.
You know what's even more embarrassing?
I mean, the one year he spent,
Bradbury,
I think he had, I want to say he played in 14 games. I don't think he's had a full 16 season game. But the season he played in 14 games, he led all tight ends in touchdowns and was second in the league in touchdowns. Yeah, he had more touchdowns than Gronkowski that year. So
I think that he had he torched. I think that the best thing was well, not the best thing, but when you guys seemed legit that year is when you guys beat Seattle. When he just torched Seattle, and I think he had for 2 touchdowns, something like that. That's when the game was just
that was a good comeback.
That was oh shit.
We were down. We were down big in that game.
Right.
Oh, that was a horrible pass over the middle.
Oh man, I wish I could go back and watch that replay. My defensive end on the right side froze. Look at him, they're still frozen. Do you see that? Oh man.
Yeah, the player just standing there.
Your offensive tackle was just frozen mid-run, and my defensive lineman was frozen mid-run. Those two players just stopped playing. Oh, here's a good question. You probably saw that game. Vontez Burfict, the hit that he got on Antonio Brown. You think that was legal?
I don't know. I mean, my thing is it was close. He did drop his head before the ball soared over. But at the same time, when a guy has a reputation, the NFL's going to throw the flag regardless,
Right.
once you develop a reputation for being, I don't want to say completely dirty, he's not like an Indomitian Sue, but, he's not the cleanest either. So I think as soon as you develop a reputation, those calls are going to go against you. He probably should have been flagged. I don't think he should have been suspended for as many games as he was for that next season, but...
And again, Andy Dalton to throw. Looking for Boyd, and he's got him. Touchdown, Bengals.
But,
yeah, I don't know. When watching it situationally, like, was he not supposed to touch him? Like, that's the only thing that really got to me. Like, I don't know.
That's a little bit of lag there.
No worries. If I was him, or if I was the ref, I don't know if I would have threw that flag, to be fair. But to be fair, I've also had refs call something for my team that was just should not have been called. So, you kind of give and take a little bit. So.
Yeah, that's about how the NFL is, and I can't really fault them. If you want to look at that game and you want to get real technical, that should have never happened because we intercepted Roethlisberger's backup. I think his name is Jones.
Yeah, Chandler Jones.
Yeah, we intercepted him. Less than 5 minutes left to go in the game. And the very first play after we got the interception, Jeremy Hill fumbled the football right back to the Steelers. I mean, that game should have been over already.
Yeah, so, I think I remember that.
There's more than one. As a Bengals fan, and seeing them lose after year in the playoffs, and then, at that point, any reasonable football fan would think, okay, my team is actually going to win this. And then... sure as shit, they fumble the ball. And it's like, only as a Bengals fan.
Huh. Well, to be fair, I can understand that. As a Bears fan, I haven't seen my team make the playoffs since 2010. And when we did, our lovely quarterback was Jay Cutler. So, we haven't really had the most amazing luck with playoffs or success as of late. So, but I do understand where you're coming from. It's almost just like you hit the point where you're like, of course.
I'm stuck. Okay.
You're just like, of course.
Yeah.
Of course that happened.
I guess as a Bengals fan, I could have. It won't let me pick the play. Hold on, it's lagging. I was just going to say, as a Bengals fan, I guess I shouldn't have as much to argue about, because we have been in the playoffs almost every season for the past. I think out of 10 seasons, we've been in the playoffs the past 7 of 10. Versus a team, like you said, you guys haven't been since 2010, so you have more to, be sore about than we do, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I think that not all of it, but a good portion of it relies heavily on the shoulders of, I knew that flag was coming. Yeah, I knew that. Because you did the same thing earlier and that flag came out. I think it's just that once you run to the right on that side and hit that route. But I don't know. I don't want to blame it all on him, but Jay Cutler had a huge part in our inability to succeed.
Yeah. That's the thing, too, is a lot of people try and give Andy Dalton heat, but I feel like that's a lot of people that don't watch Andy Dalton. He makes some mistakes, and he's not a Peyton Manning, he's not a Tom Brady, he's not somebody you can throw an entire game plan around and it's perfect, but he's also not, a Jay Cutler where he throws more games than he wins. So,
right.
Even though I am a Bengals fan and I'm probably partial, I'm not an Andy Dalton hater.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah, that's the problem with a little bit of lag on the field goal system. The field goal system doesn't exactly work with you.
Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
You guys have had some good teams over the years too. Like, I mean, Matt Forte was good for you guys for a while too. Like, just whew, whew.
Yeah, I mean,
That ball gets knocked free.
we've had some good people. I mean, I can't definitely be upset. I just think that we've just kind of been in a rebuilding phase for a little while. So just trying to get ourselves out of that kink.
And that's cool as long as you're not the Cleveland Browns. they'll be rebuilding for the rest of our lives.
Right, yeah. I think there's a time when Cleveland's not rebuilding.
Dalton gives to Bernard. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19. Just what you want on a first down run.
So, I know, like I've been talking about, I've been playing some Madden 18. Do you have any questions or maybe things you might be excited for that you'd like to see out of Madden 18?
Well, number one, I'm going to be excited to see Jay Cutler not in a Bears uniform. I hate him with a passion, which I'm sure every Bears fan can agree at this point. But other than that, man, I'm just looking forward to kind of just the different mechanics. Just like you said, Frostbite seems to be heavily invested in this game as compared to last games, and I just think that I'm excited to see the mechanics, see how things are done differently in this one, you know, see these kind of cheesy things that happen in this game that shouldn't, you know?
Yeah. Well, it does look very pretty, I'll tell you that at least. The picture quality is pretty awesome. Mechanically, you know, the game's improved. I mean, it's a big improvement on this game. Just playing this right now with you, I'm like, man, this feels clunky. Because I've been playing 18 the past couple days. But
yeah.
We'll see. There will be some cheese, probably some glitches or some things people resort to, just like there is every year. You know, a few years ago it was like the halfback counters or certain plays that are just broken.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know the defensive guys, they're trying to get
also, the new long shot mode. I kind of touched on that a little bit. Have you paid attention to what that is at all?
Yes. I am very excited to see what long shot is. I mean, I've seen some gameplay on YouTube, but just adding the story mode back, you know, or not really back, but adding the story mode in the Madden is huge.
Yeah, so from the bit of long shot I've played, I'm about 50% through long shot. It plays more like a movie, with essentially like you having the ability to make decisions on some events. So almost like a Telltale game, but
yeah,
you know, that's actually pretty accurate right there. It's like more like a Telltale game, and then based on your decisions or what happens, like your draft grades and your like football IQ either go down or get higher. And then I haven't got to the point where I've even been drafted by a team yet.
Yeah, I hear you.
But it's pretty fun so far.
I've seen some people play it on YouTube. It looks pretty entertaining. I like the kind of games where, I don't know, I kind of like that whole like Telltale thing where, oh come on, wow, where
wow,
like
Greg Olsen with a drop.
I like the kind of situations where it's just like your game changes depending on the decisions that you make. Like, I don't know, I've always been kind of a fan of that. So, oh, I knew that was coming. I shouldn't have threw that. Oh, that was a mistake. Gotta love those. But yeah, I don't know. Making those kind of games is always kind of fun. And it keeps you really.
Yeah, it is definitely different but enjoyable for a Madden game.
Wow. AJ Green.
And there's that safety blanket. I tell you what, though, as a Bengals fan, I mean, everybody's got a player, at least. Most teams have a couple players or so that they love watching, but as a Bengals player, it has been a real freaking treat that we landed AJ Green and to see that guy play. I mean, he is something else.
Yeah, he's insane. Man, that mistake right there, that pick might have just cost me the whole game.
We'll see, you hit the ball at half, too. So.
Right. But then I'll still be down by a touchdown.
A lot of time left.
Yeah. I mean, it's not over. I definitely don't think it's over, but I just...
And he'll take it back to about
Set that spin cycle on me. Damn.
Now the Panthers offense, they get set to come back onto the field. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the locker.
But
yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation.
yeah, AJ Green has been huge.
Just go ahead and finish up the
I'm not even a
and get on
Bengals fan, but seeing him play for you guys has been huge. It's been fun.
Yeah, I mean, like, I acknowledge, you know, like the Julio Joneses, the as far as wide receivers go, there aren't too many I'd put them in the same group as, you know, but
yeah,
superstars, man, the people that are only like once in a generation, the Randy Mosses, it's just fun when you can tell that somebody is about that good.
Yeah.
Because I remember as a kid watching football, I remember LT breaking the single season rushing touchdown record. I mean, stuff like that. You know, now we have our generation, we have players that are going to get to that extent.
Here's the sketchy. Do I go for the field goal? You know what? I'm just gonna go balls to the walls. You know, keep this stuff entertained. Who cares at this point? I think that if it happens, it happens. Aw, that's always lame. At least I hate that. I like to at least toss it up and hope for a duck rather than get blown right as I hit it. But I mean, that's me for running to the right side. All right.
Yeah, I found myself playing better if I don't get mobile quarterbacks. If I find myself getting a mobile quarterback, I try way too hard to roll out to the right and see if I can do something.
Yeah.
They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room. And I never want to make something more important than it actually is. Right? I don't want
Yes.
A little bit more on that. Well.
Ooh, and it was Ginn too, so he would have got open deep.
Right. That's why I wish he would have put a little bit more on that, and that would have been gone. Ginn is way too quick.
Isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and
get
it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense
Oh, there we go.
Oh, with the drop. I thought the security blanket was going to bring it in, man.
Oh, man. I'm so embarrassed with my gameplay today. I'm just off.
Well, you're also not playing with your natural team, and I am. So, yeah.
True.
I mean, it does make a difference.
Do that.
At least it does for me. When I play with a team that's not my normal team, it's like, okay, what plays work, what plays don't work, what am I going to do?
And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line.
So what prompted you to come up with the idea of running a Madden show? Because, I mean, honestly, KSI, for the most part, a lot of the people I talk to, there's occasional sports fans, but a lot of the guys here don't touch sports games.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was just, I mean, I know that MP had brought it up just because I had played Madden during the Gariago show, and it was just something that kept things interesting. Holy cow. Man, really got to start using teams that I actually know how to use. But, yeah, I mean, it was just something to keep it interesting. Not a lot of sports fans, just like you said, so adding different mentalities.
Ooh, good pick.
I think that was the biggest thing for me anyways, was just trying to keep things mixed up. Because it's so often that you see games on COD or GTA or Destiny. Like, those are the main three. And then everything else is just kind of different. So that's why I tried to, kind of mix it up.
Yeah, I definitely think it was, it should be a good show, and it's kind of a much-needed direction to go.
Yeah.
Now would be the time to do it. You have the NFL season kicking off, the new Madden season, so anybody in KSI that does, get interested is at least going to have something to do or some interest in it right now.
Yeah, I get you. God, I was gonna test that Olsen route, but when you were using the linebacker, I didn't want to mistake. So.
Well, yeah, that was the only reason I had to decide either let Cam Newton take off or cover that middle route, because that's a nice route. I mean, it's definitely not going to get covered by a middle linebacker.
No way!
Yes!
Oh my God, I'm so mad at myself for that. Holy cow. That would have been... what a shame. I did not expect
that was
him
a
to
good
dive
drive,
that.
too.
Yeah, all the way up until that last play. Dang it. I feel like that happens to me a lot, though. I can drive down the field on people, but once I get near that red zone, I just crumble. I don't know what it is. I just completely crumble. I don't know. That was a silly throw.
And got into the backfield for a loss of yardage. That's a monster play by a corner.
Green with a catch left side. He got 29 yards that time.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people just get stingier on defense in the red zone.
Who can really blaze? He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways.
I find myself doing that online against people on head-to-head, where I will drive all the way down the field and make a mistake inside like the 5-yard line that costs me.
Yeah. I do that quite a bit, but whatever. Mistakes happen. I think that, I don't know. I think that the cool thing about Madden to a certain extent is like, it's not always like, I don't know. It's not always that like the same person will win every time. You know what I mean? Like I used to play against my little brother, and I'm obvious, like me and my little brother would be super competitive, but I was always kind of just like better than him at Madden. But I don't know. It's just kind of like, it's all situational. So sometimes you'll put yourself in a position where things don't, like, I don't know. I just like it because
I mean,
it's not
if
a
we
guarantee.
played 10 times, you may win the next 9, or we may split, or Madden, Madden's not a for sure thing.
That's why I was a fan of Madden. I knew a screen was coming. I could predict it, but
if you would have got off of your defensive lineman there.
They got to get it to the 21 here on 3rd down.
What was I got?
3rd down, a shot here for Dalton, and that is incomplete. He was looking
The thing is, I think we'll make it interesting and go for it, because with the lag, I don't think I can kick a field goal anyway. So.
Man, I'm gonna be really depressed if you get this. Oh man. Probably not that depressed.
Oh shit.
Whew. Oh boy.
Well, you're about to sack the hell out of Dalton, so.
Honestly, the reason I got scared when that happened was because it was AJ Green that you were throwing to, and I was just like, uh-oh.
Oof. There you go, Michael Johnson, get there.
Yeah, talk about going from the top to the bottom, like Carolina last year. How do you go from? Oh,
yeah, yeah, definitely underwhelming on the expectations when you have a team that does so well, goes so far in the playoffs, has all that talent, and then just takes a dump the next season. I mean, it happens, but Carolina was a lot of people's pick for the Super Bowl.
Man, I'm just making poor decisions right now, and they just keep stacking up. Yeah, no, I mean, they had a really good team, and it's just crazy to see them go from, worst to, or first to worst even, not even a good alternative for that. But.
Yeah, because, I mean, there's a little bit of motion in the NFL, but, the same, few teams usually win the divisions. Like, you look at the Patriots. when is the last time somebody has won the AFC? I believe that's the AFC East, besides New England, or
Yeah, I don't know. No, I
the
don't know.
AFC
It's been
West,
a while.
besides Denver. Like, the AFC North with Cincinnati, that division's kind of a turnstile. Cincy wins a year, Pittsburgh wins a year, Baltimore wins a year. Cleveland's the only one not in the equation, but most divisions have like one team that does well.
Yeah. I don't know that.
And that's just the thing about the Panthers, their division. They are in division with the Falcons, so the Falcons had a great year last year, and Panthers, obviously get the butt into that.
Time to give a little credit here. That was an excellent read by the guys on the defensive side of the ball.
You're crediting your defense.
Gotta credit them on that one because they tried to fool them, right? Tried to trick them. Ran a screen, and they went to it and smothered it.
Oh, man. I think the problem with me this game is I'm overthinking. I'm thinking way too far ahead, and it's going to cost me on, like, numerous drives on both offense and defense. I'm just overthinking this whole game. And that maybe should have been a pick, but, I guess, I don't know. I didn't expect the...
Ah, shit.
I don't think you have to worry about field goals. You're winning by 20. So I think field goals at this point are pretty much in void. At this point, I'm just hoping I can get some sort of scoring drive together so it doesn't look like I got blown out on live stream.
Okay. I got you.
No. You don't have to let me score. Don't do that.
No. I understand what you mean. No.
Okay,
I'm too competitive to be like, oh, give you points. I'm not about that.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm throwing this game at this point. This game is over. I'm just continuously throwing up bad passes. Like, he was open for a second, but I thought Cam Newton's throw on the run ability would be a little bit better than...
Oh, that ball in the air for a minute. I thought your defensive tackle was going to come away with that.
I did too. I was excited for a split second, but then I remembered that this game isn't going my way, so...
Yeah. Again, it's not an exact science, and, once 18 comes out, get used to 18 and move Iron Madden to 18. This game feels clunky compared to 18, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
So once you get it, it'll be... I guarantee you'll appreciate 18 more than this.
Yeah, and I mean, to be fair, I think that it's, I understand where you're coming from. I don't know. I'm
that's
more.
There you go.
Well, I think I might have just given you the first down.
Ooh.
Oh my. Wait, what?
Wow.
I didn't realize that was such a big penalty, dude. Oh my god. This is what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I'm talking about. This is where this game is headed for me right now. So, I don't know. I think at this point I'm just throwing up ducks. Like, I'm just handing you repeated scores. I don't even know what to say after that. That was the most robbing feeling I've ever had in my life. Usually roughing the kicker's a 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, they have running into the kicker, which is a 5, and then they have the roughing, which is the 15. Oh,
look at that! Look at how many Bengals! Oh man, I'm so depressed at this game. That should have been Panther football. That should have been.
I can't even blame you. There are 4 blue jerseys and 1 white, and somehow the guy in the white comes up with it.
Oh man. Ugh. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I'm trying not to rage, but at the same time, I'm really upset that was not my ball. That should have been my ball.
Well, just like we said before the game started, man. I mean, some of it is completely luck on hitting, missing, a fumble, who picks up a scoop on something like that. I mean, it's little things like that.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in
well, I can guarantee you I will definitely not be picking based off of the other people's picks next time.
Yeah,
So
well,
I'm definitely going to stick with my team next time I play this.
you know,
I don't want
that's
to get
probably
blown
what
out
you should do.
on live stream
And
anymore because this is embarrassing.
well, my bad, dude.
No. Don't apologize. You're doing what you need to do. I'm making mistakes. That's on me, man. Just like, when a team blows out a team in the regular NFL, they don't go over and apologize. You're destroying me right now, but it's all
I'm not trying to ruin
talent
your show or
reasons, so-
something.
No. I'll be good.
But also, I mean, again, once you get it figured out, we start on 18 or whatever you're gonna continue to do. Like, we can play later on in the year, and again, you can stomp me next time around.
Yeah, I hear you.
Who are you used to playing with? Because I know you said you wouldn't play with the Bears because of Cutler.
So I usually use two different teams. I either use Seattle, and then if I don't use Seattle, I use Tennessee. I know that's kind of like a curveball one, but Tennessee, I think, is, in Madden anyways, it works. It has Mariota. He's mobile enough. I don't usually use him in the mobile sense because he still has a good arm. And then... Oh, he's getting fatigued.
Yeah,
I can tell he's not as fast.
I've never used Tennessee, but I see where you're talking about. Like, some of the pieces, they have a great tight end in Delaney Walker. I mean, they've got some good running backs. So, what?
What
Wow.
a play! Talk about being my hero right there. Good lord. I shouldn't have even thrown that football. And oh my god, it's literally like watching myself make mistakes on repeat. Oh my god. Oh. I don't know. I'm playing a lot like Jay Cutler right now. I'm just trying to force the ball where it doesn't need to be.
Everybody has those weeks.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense.
I've had one of my gens blowing me up as I'm playing right now. To everybody that sees the time limit left on the clock and sees that I am getting blown out in my first episode of this, I apologize for any of my fans, but I sincerely congratulate any Airborne fans that are watching because he earned it. He has definitely showed me up, and games got to recognize games. So I'm not gonna blame this on anything but the fact that he's been playing really well. So good game,
I
man.
appreciate that, but if it helps, ask KSI Maniac 5, one of the generals over in DR, how bad I did him, and you would feel a lot better about yourself.
Don't ask me how I scored that, because I have no clue. The fact that he broke that tackle and had the endurance to run over there when I've been running with him the whole game, no clue. No idea.
Yeah, my defensive line is like running on fumes right now, chasing Cam Newton all game.
Oh, come on. You're right there. Just sprint. Come on.
I was looking down at the couch and I saw the onside kick formation. Well, yeah. I mean,
really nothing else I can do.
But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field, so it kind of closes in on.
All right.
And that allows you to come a little bit better.
I'm just glad I scored again, I guess. Gotta have little things to
well,
look
I'm not usually one of those people that choose the clock, but if you just want to get out of this one, I can do that. It's up to you.
Man, your run game is insane. I don't know why my guys keep leaving that open.
I appreciate it. I said I spend quite a bit of time on this game, so.
Yeah, I don't know. I do too. And I don't even have 18 yet, so I haven't even had to transition yet. I literally just play this game nonstop. So I don't know.
So you play Ultimate Team on this or no?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, it's about what I spend most of my time doing. Trying to convince myself not to spend money on the packs that they drop all the time. EA and their cash grabs.
And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here.
Yeah, I got a couple buddies that are going to be setting up that Madden Ultimate Team thing with the I don't even know what it's called. It's like Madden Ultimate Team, but it's 3v3, so you can get one plays the defense, or one brings their offense. Yeah, one brings their defense and one brings the special or the head coach and stuff.
I have not had a chance to play it yet, but I have seen it as an option, and I think that'll help make it more fun too. Like, I mean, you know, grabbing a couple buddies, especially here in KSI, we should definitely be able to find, you know, 3 people for a Ultimate Team.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, yeah, I have a couple of buddies who have been hitting me up about that in KSI, just like, yo, we should do this, so I might entertain the idea. Okay, so I will admit, the only reason I threw that football was because if it went incomplete, it would stop the clock. So I know that was double. No, that was double coverage, and anybody who watched would have just watched me make the biggest mistake of my life. But I'm just trying to, you know, rationalize with these viewers that Kelvin Benjamin's better than that. Yeah, I did that strictly because I knew it would be incomplete and the clock would stop. So anybody who's watching and is judging me, don't judge me. What? You know what,
dude? You get time on that. No, you get time. That's bullshit. I like your drive.
I mean, to be fair, I probably would have got like there with like 1 second left, but I appreciate it. I didn't. What?
Oh!
Did you see that throw though? I didn't even. Wow. I don't know. I'm kind of depressed after that. Not because like I didn't make the right read, but because he threw under on me, like he was throwing a softball.
Yeah, you would think somebody like
that. That's crazy.
Cam Newton, much better. Oh, leg. Okay.
How depressing is that, dude? Every time I had a good drive in this game, just derailed. I cannot believe that last throw. All right, well, James got a recognized game. It was fun. Madden's always fun, regardless, win or lose. So I appreciate you coming out and having fun, and everybody watching. Congratulate Airborne on his win, and look forward to me playing more KSI leaders as we go. That second quarter.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me out, and again, you know, thanks for the opportunity and the idea. I love the idea, so stick with it, man.
Yep. And if I transition to 18, I mean, I'm sure I'll get you back on the show at one point. I mean, it's still fun to play and talk about football with somebody who knows a lot about football. Like I cannot stress that enough. You know, like people can talk about football, but they know like, oh yeah, I've heard of Tom Brady. You know, but like for you to know, you know, the pieces and you know everything and know how the defense and offense works and kind of, you know, the fact that you know the term blow the top off the offense is, you know, was enough for me. At that point, I was like, okay, he knows what he's talking about. So, you know, but yeah, man, it's been fun. But
appreciate it, man.
Other than that, everybody that's watching, I want to thank you guys for coming out. Everybody who watches this later, I want to thank you guys for, you know, viewing this show. And I want to congratulate Airborne again on his win and, you know, look forward to the next episode of Iron Madden. Everybody, thank you again and have a good night.